How's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great video here on the Savior Show. Yes, that's right. Today we're gonna take a look at Saints Row, the new rebranded and remade version of Saints Row. It's not like other open world games. No, this is something completely different and brand new. 100% original. It doesn't feel like a game straight from 2007. Saints Row is truly a masterpiece. Oh boy, you are in for a treat today, boys. So before I get into my review of Saints Row and my Saints Row review in 2022, the new one, because there's like 500 Saints Row games now, and this probably is one of the worst ones in all honesty. But before I get into my review, I just want to quickly tell you where I'm coming from. I'm not a huge Saints Row fan. I'm not a huge open world game fan, okay? I used to be, but like many people out there now, like many gamers, I'm sick of the formula. I'm sick of cluttered maps. I'm tired of the open world design and how it just recycles itself time and time again. But this is truly something else. I'm going to show you now the difference between Saints Row 1 and how they went from a cool, over-the-top, zany action, parody to completely absolute cringe, where it feels like it's a parody of itself, and I wish that was the case, but it's not. So I'm gonna show you an example right now. Of course it's over the top, but that's the whole point of Saints Row. It's supposed to feel like a Kill Bill movie, but in a game. That's what's so great about it, and the over-the-top humor, what you can do in the game world, flying around like a goddamn superhero, being the president of the United States, blowing stuff up, no consequences, no reality. Saints Row stood out because it was separating itself from the GTA formula, where it's trying to be semi-realistic with, an interesting storyline, a wacky, over-the-top story, which doesn't have to make sense, doesn't have to actually be realistic whatsoever. It's just supposed to be fun, just like Just Cause. It was over-the-top, crazy, open-world action, and back then, the open world formula wasn't played out, it wasn't stale. It is today, it's completely stale, and there's only a few games that are doing open world games differently. Now, let's take a look at the wonderful new cast of characters and the story. This is where it's most disgusting and it fails the most, because this feels like a goddamn parody of itself. These are the most unlikable characters I think I've ever seen. It feels like it's trying to do a parody of the woke culture, but it's not. This is actually the game. This is actually the writing. It's absolutely terrible. Take a look.
You know what would make it smell even better?
Hey man, if you want a $300 waffle maker, you can buy it with the exposure the idols pay you in. Don't expect us to chip in.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune?
I'm into showering. Are you gonna help me get the waffle maker or not?
As an investor, I don't like wasting money.
You're wearing a fucking bow tie.
Okay, I will throw in $20 for a waffle maker.
Nina?
Good for 10?
Who helped you move your forged paintings last month?
Fine, 15.
What sort of waffle maker can I get for $35?
Presumably one that makes fucking waffles.
Hey! Hey! The wage slave is back!
Hey! Shut the fuck up! What are you listening to? We have fucking neighbors. My God, what are you kids listening to in here? I need to get some sleep. I hate this generation of kids. What is actually wrong with any of you?
Hey, Tony Doney! Hey, it's Tony Doney! Good to see you again. We all speak like this and we swear every 5 seconds because swearing all the time equals funny. I mean, that looks like a parody of itself, right? You would think this is just satire, going beyond satire, but I don't think it is. That's the problem. And if it is trying to be satire of itself, or parody of, like these kind of woke developers, it's gone to the point where it's not funny. It's, yeah, I just don't think it is parody, honestly. It's terrible, okay? The writing in here is terrible. Even if it's supposed to be funny, which I don't think it is, you are supposed to like these characters. None of these characters are likable. All of them are, like, the worst kinds of people imaginable. A bunch of trendy dipshits that I just want to blow my brains out every time I listen to the dialogue in this game. So now let's get on to the main review of Saints Row and why I think Saints Row sucks and why Saints Row is bad. Now, like I said, this is just my humble opinion, and you may disagree with me, that's fine, I really don't care, honestly, it's a video game, get a life, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, okay, there are more important things to be discussing. Go watch my other content where I discuss things of greater importance, or greater video games, because this ain't it, Sonny Jim, okay? And there's no need to be upset about it if you disagree with my opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions. But Saints Row is absolute dog turd, okay? It's absolutely terrible. And let's jump into the first thing. For combat. The combat in Saints Row is just the worst thing imaginable, okay? Everything about it is stiff and unresponsive, okay? The animations are broken and janky. The AI is beyond goddamn stupid. The cover system doesn't work whatsoever. You can't interact with the world around you. The animations don't transition together well. It just feels like a janky pile of shite, honestly. And this feels like a game that was just remastered from 2006. This doesn't feel like a brand new reimagining of the Saints Row formula. And if this is the best thing that they could come up with, then holy shit, they have lost their touch. And let's just say, the developers of Saints Row have always been a rather confused bunch, in my opinion. There have been 6 different developers working on the Saints Row games throughout the entire series, so it's not surprising to me that it has an identity crisis. And basically, the only thing new about this game is they've ripped elements from previous older games like Just Cause and added it to Saints Row, like riding on top of cars, flying around with a wingsuit, and I guess they think they can get away with this because GTA 6 still hasn't been announced, who knows when it's coming, and at the moment we don't have an open world kind of crime video game like GTA, like Saints Row or anything like that, like Mafia, so they think they can fill the space with this pile of shit, and it's just so disappointing. I can understand if some people like it, and if you do, more power to you. I personally hate these games so much because it just shows you that the gaming industry now is going downhill pretty rapidly. A lot of these big publishers and studios don't have any originality to them anymore. They all just recycle the same content, copying the same open world formula, and so many gamers in recent years have been complaining about the open world formula, like with Watch Dogs, like with Assassin's Creed, like Far Cry, so many of these games just feel the same. That's the problem with Cyberpunk 2077. These games that just fill your map with endless shit to do that doesn't matter, that doesn't feel like it has any meaning within the game world, that just feels like it's there for an open world game to exist. I hate it, okay? Only a few games have done things differently, like Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2, and even then that's following the same formula. That's why the Elden Ring and games like Breath of the Wild were so refreshing to many, and I 100% agree. We need to change up the formula in the gaming industry, because just reusing the same thing over and over again, I'm sick of it, and I personally fucking hate it, without a doubt. This is a Saints Row review after all, isn't it? Well, yes it is, Sonny Jim, but please remember that I have only played the preview version, that's why I'm doing this kind of early. I haven't played the full game, I haven't had access to all the weapons either, but that doesn't matter, because if the fundamental gameplay of this is terrible, and that's why I think Saints Row is bad, and Saints Row sucks, and you shouldn't buy Saints Row, please don't buy Saints Row, because you will save yourself some money, and you will not support these corporate scum that just think they can milk consumers by releasing the same old trash time and time again. So what's actually good about Saints Row? Well, very little, to be honest. Like I said, it's got all of the same open world gameplay mechanics, which some people will like, where you can customize your vehicles, you can customize your guns. There's so many different objectives to do, you know, like different types of missions. A lot of them revolve driving somewhere, or driving around and following someone, or driving a vehicle and not going too fast, or the vehicle's gonna explode, or just this generic kind of trash. You know, I don't like it personally. Stealing vehicles, destroying businesses, or leaving bad reviews on businesses, stuff like that, you know, it's all pretty generic stuff, like I said, and it's the same trash mob time and time again. It's the same trash mob over and over again coming after you. This just feels like a game for the Fortnite generation. If you love Fortnite, if you're a Fortnite player, and you like that type of game, then you probably like this. You know, this game I can see appealing to kids, people who don't have much knowledge about the gaming industry, gamers who don't understand the complexity of gameplay mechanics and what actually makes a good video game yet, because your brain isn't developed. That's fine, you might actually enjoy this. But yeah, I mean, I can't really say anything good about it. Even the controls are just broken. Like, driving around is completely broken. When you move the camera, it doesn't actually work. You know, it doesn't center itself behind the car. Now, I'm sure that's going to get fixed on release. But yeah, there's just so much wrong with this game. I can't recommend it whatsoever. So that's my review of Saints Row. It's terrible, and the fact is, it feels lazy. It feels almost like a cash grab in some ways. Just, do you remember this? Saints Row, it used to be good. Now, even with the map design, it's just lazy and cheap. You know, most of it is empty space. You know, a desert. There's no random events like you would get in a Rockstar game. Even a Ubisoft open world game has more going on, has more personality, and feels more alive compared to this trash. It's just empty, wasted space. And to be honest, it just looks terrible. I'm so sick of the fact that developers don't even bother to try anymore, and they just expect everyone to hand them shitloads of money to play the same old game time and time again, year after year, never changing things up. We have to demand more, because the industry at the moment is completely corrupt, and most developers don't even release games that are actually working or even finished. And this is a prime example of something that just went wrong and has lost touch with its roots, in my opinion. The only positive I can say is at least it's playable, at least it's actually functioning, it doesn't have that many bugs. But yeah, that's not really a praise. So that's my review of Saints Row. It's just garbage. Yeah, that's my opinion. You can like it if you want, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I don't like it. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, my sinners. Peace out.